right, so what do you think? Like a 5 rounds? GHD. Dead. I guess 275. So I have to sprint finish. Ouch.
Oh, spicy.
That's like a 15-minute work. Sub 15 would probably be good, huh? It's gonna be spicy for sure. Shit.
So you saw front.
I used to get really stressed about it. This being like my first competition back since that like when I got sick. I've made a point of relearning how I'm gonna approach and cope with this, being a high level athlete and still being able to like compete at a high level. Where, not to discount like people doing CrossFit for their well-being, and that's amazing. And I love it, and I own a gym, and like obviously I coach a lot of just normal people, but being able to cope with it when it is so important that I succeed in this, because it is my job, but not letting that make me too neurotic, because you're gonna be a little neurotic. But like in the past, it overstressed me because of financial things, because of pressure from my loved ones that was self-imposed, I think. Just wanting to like please the people around me and maybe putting undue stress on myself. That was all negative. So now I've had this second chance. I'm able to compete at a pretty high level again with similar goals. Like I want to make it back to the games. I still think I'm capable of that. But not letting that overwhelm every part of my being. And I think one of the biggest things that's helped me manage that and not fixate on these big events or on the open or qualifiers or whatever it is in an unhealthy way, fixating in an unhealthy way, has been coaching. Like individual coaching, like I've coached for a long time, but actually having people that trust in my expertise in the sport, my experiences, being an athlete, going to school, whatever, studying all this stuff, it gives me a chance to step away from will competition, will focusing, what do I need to work on as an athlete, what this injury that's hurting me, how do I get that better, all these things, right? And it helps me turn all that off, and then it helps me, it allows me to help people and put the same effort that I was putting into one bucket, I can kind of spread that out and give my clients my best effort. Some people will say, oh, you need to give 100% to your craft if you're an athlete. And yeah, I agree with that, but I think I was overflowing that bucket, metaphorically speaking, right? I was like literally everything was in there, overflowing, drowning in it. Now it's even. Now I feel like all the buckets are pretty full. I'm 100% behind having a coach. Like, it guides you, all these things, like you have support in your corner, and having it from somebody who's invested in you for a long time, like I have, like my coach and me, and we've been together for 5 years. You can't discount that. That's ridiculous. The relationship we have is beyond this world, and he knows me like as a person and all my life struggles and my like just way I handle with stress. So like he knows my coping mechanisms, all those things. You can't discount that. Like especially when you're a coach of a professional athlete or of any athlete in any pursuit, when their physical pursuit takes so much of their life as it does to like train 4 times a day. Like that's your life. So definitely helps to have a coach and like to not come up with things on the fly. But my coach trusts me at this point with the deload. He trusts me that I'm not gonna go hurt myself. So sometimes it's nice for me to just kind of like, I'm a coach too for a living, right? So like it's fun for me to, okay, these are my weaknesses. This is how I want to test them today. Now when it comes to like writing structure and things like that, I could write for myself, but it's just better coming from another person because I don't like having any biases. Yeah. Ah. That's good. My legs. That's pretty fast.
What about that made you think it'd take 15?
Oh, I don't know. Usually it's like, you can take a minute for each movement, or I was thinking like you take a minute for each one of those movements. With transition time, maybe 3 minutes around. But those deads were just so quick. Nothing like a good old-fashioned C2 bike sprint to make you feel like you can't walk.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Late night. Good sessions in here, man. Bo will go off about this place. He loves it.
Yeah.